That guy's got to get a job. You really need a job.
Baker.
No.
Yeah.
Well, but it's going to be a cash job.
He's on disability. They're not cash jobs, they're jobs that you forget to report at the end of the year.
Is that what that is, man?
I mean, if it happens this time of year, how are you going to remember?
Never run across that myself.
Short memory.
Makes me mad.
Now, all the meetings are ordered, this meeting and all the meetings of this committee are open to the public. Proper notices have been posted and given to the press in accordance with the Wisconsin statutes. So consider to be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting. I think we'll let Mr. Steckbauer go first, and then he can travel on.
Well, thank you. My name's Keith Stockbar. I'm going to be your new judge in Weyauwega County. I was appointed by Governor Walker on the 14th of January. Of course, there's an election right away, so it's weird. I'm going to try and kid you. It's I think I'm the proud owner of the shortest appointment ever in Wisconsin history. I'll pat myself on the back for that. But I will tell you that I'm convinced. I was thinking about this today. I know the other people have been out at town board meetings, and I haven't been able to get to any yet because I'm on the school board for New London. And so we have Monday meetings like the whole free world does. So this is my first chance that is now officially done because I can't have that office and the office of the judge. But I'm pretty sure, though, as I was thinking about this, this is the one time people on the town board will ever have an opportunity to vote for a judge who sat in your chair. For whatever it's worth, whether that's a deal maker or not, I don't know. But I was a town chairman of Gale for 4 years. I think before the problem started. At least that's what the auditors say. So, I mean, I have that, I think, unique experience. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I don't want to go too long, but I'm from a little town outside of Rhinelander. I grew up. I'm the youngest kid of way too many. My dad was a logger up there. I think I was about 5 years old and then decided I was not going to be a logger. My brothers took longer to figure that one out. I think I was always ahead of the curve from them. So I went off to law school, decided that's what I wanted to do, got me out of the woods. That was a positive. And I got out of law school, ended up in the Valley, and then moved to Dale because I came to work for a guy named Bob Sorensen over in Hortonville, good guy. And then one day I moved to Dale, and they said, would you like to be town chairman? I was retiring, and nobody else wants to run. You're a lawyer. You know, at that point, I'm 27 years old. I don't know anybody, 28 years old, whatever it was. Didn't know a soul in town. So I said, sure. That was a great way to meet your neighbors, you know, one not plowed driveway at a time or road at a time. And so I remember the first time they took me out to see all the different roads. I'm like, oh my God. Ours were a little rough at that point. They've gotten better. So I did that for 4 years, and then I took a little bit of break from that because we have a town chairman there that's just a fabulous guy named Doug Wonderlich. I don't know if you guys ever run into him, but he's one of these guys that he needs to do it because he's a guy, he just does everything. He's a plumber in town. He knows a lot more than I do about roads. So I did that for 4 years, took a break, and then about 6 years ago I ran for the school board in New London, which gave me more time to have people unhappy with me. As you know, you get the tax bill last week. We're the bad guy, you know. And I did not realize for this year that every township does the assessments a little. I mean, I always knew that, but you know, some of the percentages really were skewed with some towns, you know, in terms of the levy increase. So that was fun. That made for some interesting phone calls. But fortunately, I had a treasurer at the county as a school board that I could pawn the answer off on. So I've done that. I've been on the First State Bank board. So I've been kind of, as a result of that, I've been approached to do other things. I'm on the board of directors for First State Bank. I'm on the board of directors for the New London Hospital. Several other things like my church. So in all that, I've also practiced law for 20 years, doing everything under the sun. From I remember standing on a hill over here, dealing with a very nice Schumann family was there selling that land and all that sort of stuff. So I have a memory of Anclam Road that was quite pleasant. Good people. But it was just, you know, all those kinds of things that, you know, I've done more divorces than any one person should ever have to do. Fortunately, not my own. So I guess I've done a lot of things as a lawyer, but it's kind of, I guess I was thinking about this. if I went back 5 or 6 years ago, I would have thought that I was ready to be a judge. You know, I'm an Outagamie County resident. I will tell you that. I mean, I'm right now. I've lived in Weyauwega County for the last 3 weeks because I got to live in Weyauwega to take the bench. So I have staying at a friend's my house in Fremont. But historically, I've lived in Dayton. I'm not going to lie. That's where my family's lived. We're buying a house in New London on the golf course in the town of Lebanon. We close on that a week from today. So by a week from today, I'll own land again in Weyauwega County. I just sold my lot that I was going to build a house on because you can't build a house this time of year quickly. So I'm rambling a little bit, but I guess, you know, if I went back in time, I don't think I was ready to be a judge, even though I've done all the different kinds of law practice. I've tried everything. I truly believe that being on these last boards, these last 3 or 4 or 5, 6 years, it really prepared me more, because you have to, like you're sitting here, you have to weigh everything, and then you have to make a decision. The rubber meets the road, you just have to make the decision. That's the stuff I think has really prepared me for being a judge, more than just practicing law, because I've been an advocate for 20 years. I can go to court, I can try any case, I can present it, I can make an argument. But at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for the decision. Because for 20 years, I've won and said, hey, I did a great job. For 20 years, I've lost and said the judge didn't understand. You know, so, but on the boards, whether it be the school board, whatever, you know, ultimately I'm the one that sits up there and has to say, this is what we're going to do. So I think that's prepared me more. And my competitors are nice people. You know, Ed Jelinski, I don't know if he's coming tonight. He's run for judge twice out in Weyauwega County. I never made that. All those years I lived in Outagamie County, I could have run for judge. I don't know if I was ready. The timing may not have been right. And I really always wanted to be in Weyauwega County because Outagamie is kind of cold, sterile. They're becoming more and more stuffy. I mean, it feels more and more bureaucracy. You come to Weyauwega County, it's a great place to practice law, a great place to be a judge. And Ed will say that too. It's a great place to be a judge. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the governor got it right. It was quite the extensive process that we had to go through. I know I'm rambling again. This is my life. So the governor had us go through a background check. I had me go through a background check. I couldn't believe because I was the one that was picked. We had an extensive interview process. And, you know, no matter what happens with this, I got a chance to sit down with the governor of the state of Wisconsin and have a one-on-one interview with him, which is a long, long way from living in a house with no plumbing in northern Wisconsin. That's the story of my life in a nutshell.
So, Hoffman, what kind of court cases does he try?
They do it a little different in Weyauwega County than most places. And a little bit has to do with how their preferences. But Judge Hoffman takes all the juveniles and all the CHIPS cases, the Children in Need of Protection Services, so families that are really just repair. He gets those. He doesn't take any of the family law cases because he doesn't like those. I'd like to change that because that's what I've done for a long time, but I'm the new guy. I'm not going to change anything. So he takes all of those, and then he does a third of the criminal cases. So that's going to be my calendar day one, I think, for the foreseeable future. There's a little benefit to me in that because it kind of washes me out of family law for a little while, which will I hope will get me away from saying, well, this is what I would have done kind of thing. So I think that might be good. It might be good for the lawyers that I'm dealing with too, that I'm not going to be in the mix with them for a while.
So with you running for judge, if you are elected, are you resigning from all these positions?
Yes, I'm resigning from the school board effective 1st. I have to resign from the bank board on the 10th. That'll be our last board meeting before I take office on the 11th. And then I've asked basically to go on a leave of absence from the hospital because it's a little unclear whether I can be on that. I just can't be on anything involving them that has a fundraising component to it. So basically we agreed that I would just kind of step back, get my feet underneath myself in the judge role, and then see if I can do that. So that's a negative. I mean, I really...
When is your election?
February 18th.
It is February 18th.
So I take office on the 11th and I have the election on the 18th. So the positive the negative is I can't run on my record. The positive is I can't run on my record.
I didn't even realize that. Was it in the paper that
Yeah.
Walker had?
There was like 4 or 5 names.
Yeah, there was 4 of us. 5 applied. They did it kind of weirdly, interesting. They did 5 people applied. 3 of us made the first cut. Vicky Klusman Tagetz from the DA's office, Ed Jelinski, and myself made really the first round. Then we went down and we did an interview with 2 of the governor's staff and a judge from Milwaukee County who heads his judicial selection committee. So 3 of us met with him, and then 2 of us were invited back to meet with the governor. So Ed and I got to meet with the governor. Those were the cool experiences.
The governor?
Right. Incredible place. I mean, what a nice place. You're sitting there, you're just sitting there going, the furniture is you can tell is 100+ years old, and you think of, this is the 44th governor or something like that. It's just, there's a process that I think that I respected. A gorgeous office inside, too. A lot nicer than mine in Dale.
Understandable.
Now we know where our tax dollars
Yeah, that's where your tax dollars. I think actually where your tax dollars went a long time ago because it looked like it was exactly the way it was 80 years ago.
Tax dollars go to keep it looking that way.
Yes. There was probably some waxing going on. It was kind of interesting experience. So I'm going to be a judge, and I hope to stay a judge. But feel free if you're ever in the courthouse or anything good, stop by and say hi. I think there's some benefit from having a judge that's been in these kinds of roles in that office. I think it's going to be easier to work with the county board because I've not been a county board. It's still similar in the sense of you understand how committee structures work and you know that you guys have to go back and answer to a taxpayer. So I guess I'd like to have that kind of open door with people.
Questions?
No?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks
Yeah.
for inviting.
Actually, thanks for coming.
Yeah. So I've never campaigned. School board. The first time I ran it was Last man standing. And some of the church stuff, let's face it, you go so you don't get on a committee.
What church you go to?
Methodist Church in London. So that's been really nice because my kids go to school in London.
What's the minister's name?
It's Kate Croskery Jones is the new one. We
What's
just
the-
switched about a year
Who
ago.
was the other one?
It was Lucretia.
Lucretia.
Furman.
Yeah. She married my daughter
Oh, okay.
in Weyauwega, though.
What I really like about it, this is going to sound really selfish, but our new pastor, she's a lawyer. So I sit there and I just understand. She was doing a sermon yesterday. I'm like, I totally get the structure. I feel like she's talking to me. She went a little long, so I was comfortable with that. My son leans over me and says, "Is this going a little long?"
Yeah.
I think in our church we all look at our watches. It just seems like.
Well, our official timekeeper died.
Oh.
Every church has that guy in the back that doesn't do the little subtle, but does the. He died and we don't recover from that. So, thank you very much for your time. It was a good meeting tonight. Keep those roads plowed because that's what everybody's responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fill the potholes.
Thank you.
Didn't you like our town hall?
It works. I've been in worse.
It's got indoor plumbing. More than Royalton can say.
I've been. Horton or 20 a dozens. I've been at some little town. Town of Anoa used to have a horrible one outside of Antigo. I went there. I did a thing years and years ago. And it was the grade school my dad had gone to. And like, gee, I think they've left this exactly the way you went to school, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Good night,
Like
thank
you
you.
watch the ice out there?
I will. I'm not that kind of lawyer, so.
You know my attorney? Trying to think of that one that's the sitting judge that was our telling
That was what?
on a ruling clerk that was our telling judge. Yeah, that's right. I heard it.
Okay, you all received the minutes.
Did, I'll make a motion we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes as printed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Look at this, Joe.
It's little though. It's microscopic. I've got lots of copies if anybody needs one.
Joe,
Much easier.
Joe was there this afternoon. She said, I can make it bigger. I said, this is a lot better than what I usually do.
Tell her to print it that way.
Yeah, 'cause that's how it gets big.
Yeah.
Much easier on the eyes. Yeah, I got that breakdown of that 117. She thought she had sent it to me and she hadn't. Yeah. Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
Why do you have it? No, not that one. I meant the other one. The 117, which is the 372.
Oh,
You got that one
that's the
too?
garbage one? Yeah.
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 Because I wanted to separate what was interest and what was.
Okay.
She said I get, and sometimes I get them and sometimes I don't. And sometimes she emails them and sometimes she don't. So, whatever.
What is ACH?
Automatic check. Well, money transfer.
Money
Oh,
transfer.
thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what were those for? Okay, come.
The one is start for taxes is the 17709, and then the next one is a special assessment, and you break that out. It's 320 is the assessment, and 5280 is the interest on that.
Under the 372 one?
Yeah, under the 372.
Those are old.
Yep, old assessments that now there's interest on.
Okay. And the other one?
The other one is our sort of the tax collections, and I don't have the breakdown as to what piece is what.
Okay.
So 53,000 is our local taxes, 13,920 is our special assessments, that would be garbage pickup, and special taxes managed forest land, 4,126.97.
She had said that went out, and I thought maybe it would be in my mail when I picked it up today. And
As long as we're talking about this, just so that you know, through, this is our January tax settlement, only 26% of our taxes are paid.
Oh, 26.
Whoa.
6%.
And what does that percent normally be? 'Cause I
Now,
have
you're usually over 50%.
That means that the ones that are going to have to be paid in full by, what is it, February? Yeah, in February.
Well,
Well,
Half of them.
this is, what day is your report on?
That's
Because
December, you said, right?
December, yeah.
Yeah,
but-
December. So
yeah,
they had
so
till the
we're-
end
They had
of
till the end
of
January.
January.
January to pay that half.
But usually, a lot of them pay before the end of the year. We're usually a lot further along than what we are. So,
You don't have any of January's there, then
no, this is the end of
December.
yeah.
So that number could be,
Could be, but I kind of looked, like Jill always wrote it down every, and I kind of looked at her deposit. We're probably, and the taxes are up, but we're probably down over $200,000. What she used to collect through December.
December.
well,
So this is actually through December,
Right.
not January.
not January.
Yeah, January.
You won't know that figure till probably in February, right?
Yeah.
Middle of February.
Middle of February.
I just took another payment in today, and it wasn't actually even ours. It was the town. It was the city's. When I went to drop it off, it asked me all this stuff, and it came with January annual to my address, overnighted, and I'm like, I got it, and I'm like, okay, what's this? And I'm like, so I took it in, and they're like, well, this isn't even yours, this is the city's.
that happens.
So, yeah, I'm like, okay, I said, well,
Was it
here
really? I
it
didn't know
is.
that would happen.
Yeah, Joe had that.
Yeah, so I just said, okay, well, as long as it gets where it's supposed to go,
Yeah.
I don't know what to go with it.
Yeah. But I think people are hurt.
Can I have that and break that out, and I can put that in?
Oh, I see we got a building permit from
Yep,
Mike Kemp and ours, so, does that go with the dog license?
which thing? The Kemp is the building permit, the rest of them are all dog license.
That's all there, okay.
Yeah, I just put them so they're not like
That's for
running
the
on.
garage.
He's building a new garage, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had someone had questioned quantum building?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, quantum that goes through the state, because their rate price happened to be there when I was zoning. So we don't see that building permit, that goes to the state.
So it's commercial building.
It's commercial. Then, while I was standing there, you know, I had questioned when I ran through the stuff for the TID district. I'd gotten a figure from Clyde that was like 5 million, but yet when I went into the state to certify our TID, it was down, I thought it was almost $1 million, 800,000. Somehow or another, Richard got the state to lower his assessment on something. And Larry couldn't exactly tell me, and he says, and now he's working on Larry told me that 800,000. And now he's working on another 200,000, and then he told Larry, keep up the good work, he says, you're really helping me out. So Larry said, your TID district is really gonna be hurting because they're making all these special, you know, kind of assessments for Richard Weyauwega.
The state is?
So we should point out to Richard that he's not really helping us.
No. Larry was just, in fact, Larry takes pride in his work, and anyway, he was quite mixed about it. So, no, we will never see a building permit from Quantum for that particular section that they're getting that all went through the state.
If there's a way, Richard will find it.
Oh, yes. I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
You all heard the motion, in favor?
Aye.
Carry. Family maintenance report, no bill, but I got a printout. If you'd like to look at it, it actually isn't too bad. I cannot remember the date.
You know, with all the crappy weather, I think the county's been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
A lot of times, I've been kind of letting Lance decide. He's made a couple good guesses. One time he said, boy, you made a good guess, though. You've been lucky. Yeah, I didn't know the dates, but it was only
I was hoping I
$47.
maybe, no, I
Really?
can't find, yeah, I just, that's what I throw out. Do you want to pay them? And I said, well, you need to
yeah, but the next one might be a dandy, right?
Yeah,
Catch up everything.
I think, I don't know, the guy driving now is doing a really good job. I think he's shooting through here, putting fast.
Yeah.
And I noticed he's been trying to put sand on it.
I see the sand very good.
You know, he goes one way and then goes the other way, and then he does his sand right away, so that you don't have to make that extra trip.
It usually comes down the hill, and you must turn around at the intersection, and it goes back up. It doesn't take it long.
No, he's very efficient. I know when they had the grader come and push back the banks, that's not on there. In fact, it might have had him do it twice.
Yeah. Finally, it's all one of those.
It isn't bad yet. Luckily, it sounds like for the rest of the week, we might get,
Yeah.
we might get,
I took my claw off, but I got stuck twice in my daughter's or Bernie's, that one from Maple Road.
Yeah.
It's just solid ice. And I got 200 pounds of weight in the back end. You just get to a certain point, and you can't back up. You know, you hit it, you try to pull it. And then my son-in-law pulled me out twice, and that's, and I'm on flat ground, no snow around me, just spinning.
200 pounds it is.
That's not enough, no. And your son had to come pull out the red from my driveway the other day.
Yeah. He said, I hope Jim don't mind a couple pine branches off.
I wish you could go to push them banks back for a little bit.
I don't know what he counted.
Oh, he said it had that big flat blade on it. It was real wide. So, I don't know how he maneuvered in my truck. My red back off my driveway.
It was a
With a septic tank.
That happened
we went out.
pretty easy. Okay. That's good. Highway, I say we haven't really had any complaints.
I think it would much understand the winter conditions, you know, as long as they don't get stuck on the roads. And the school hasn't said anything, as far as, I know one bus was on a ditch.
I drove down to Evansville trying to find the branches. I can't.
I did too, and I don't know which ones he's talking about, so Lane's gotta get a hold of him.
I think,
Maybe knock them off.
if he says something again, somebody's gonna have to go with him.
He called me, and he called me about something else too, but, he said, what'd you talk about that? I said, yeah. And I said, Bill Jolly might give you a phone call to see where.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, have him call me.
I just can't see him.
I don't know where he's talking, so.
Right now, it's gonna be hard to get anybody to do it.
But he knows it's gonna be a little bit. So.
Everybody's pushing snow.
Did we have a lot of snow this last week? Sorry. Did we get down stuff? I was gone, I don't know, it was no by me.
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
The same one that hit us Thursday?
I was going to Phillips, down as far as Wausau. I called it off.
I had to go to Illinois, and I drove Wednesday night, and I can't drive at night because I can't see. I'll tell you what I was putting, I was going, I wasn't,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, Taylor's got pneumonia. Oh, they needed a babysitter's desk.
Yeah.
Mark had to go to Scottsdale.
So you're babysitting and he's in Scottsdale. That's not fair.
That's right.
Next time tell him baby and babysitter go along.
You got that right.
Yeah.
All right, fire department report. They talked about the equalized valuation and how they wrestle with getting all the valuations there. And we're probably going to change the bylaws, and then they can start in July to do the budget, and they'll use last year's valuation. That way, all the clerks don't have to hurry up and get it to them. Bob Ehrenberg was elected deputy, and Dan Neary assistant chief. They're going to stand by at the races. I guess it says here just February 8th. I know there's races.
Saturday and Sunday, or was it Friday, Saturday, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just that one they have to be there or what. And they're running an ad for 2 more firefighters because 2 resigned and moved away. Did not have the fire call list yet. They got the payroll if you guys would like to see, the firefighters that got paid. Other than that, the meeting lasted 21 minutes. It was cold. There was no monkeying around.
Yeah. Get to the point and get on.
So I guess next meeting, hopefully, we'll get the annual report of the call.
Can I keep this?
Yeah, if you'd like it. I don't know. I think Casey Clean was one of them. They got a job at a bank in Green Bay. And the other one, I think, was Matt Heddy, I think. They said Matt, and they didn't give his last name, and I think that's the only Matt on there.
You know, a way for them to save money on the budget is not
Well,
replace them.
It's, when you look at some of these guys, they don't do a whole lot.
They don't participate much, yeah.
But I suppose if it's job is somewhere else, and if you're working shift work,
Oh, yeah. Can't attend.
like that Casey Clean, he's $574. So didn't do a lot.
Well, like I know up here, Mark Bayman, he resigned last January.
Yeah, or.
He got $59.
Oh,
Oh, he resigned.
Poor kids.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good answer.
Did you guys get, this letter about Dan Wilson?
No.
No.
I wonder how he's gonna accept that.
No.
And I never heard of that.
These are doubled?
He did something across with his cottage or something,
Hmm.
didn't get a permit,
Hmm.
now they're gonna make him pay double. Yeah, good, but I say, I bet he's gonna,
That wouldn't surprise me. I wonder if they ever do.
I'm surprised he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
Then I got a letter from Centerville. It's kind of a open-ended permit for whenever they do
Oh, yeah.
work in here, they just want us to sign it, and then they just go ahead and do it, not notify it. And I see no problem with it.
Yeah.
Did we do that
We've done that
a
before.
couple of years ago?
So I guess, well, if you can maybe just says chair, clerk, there you can sign it, mail it out. They didn't send an envelope, cheap son of a Centerville sent a map, they're doing something on Railroad Grade Road. And if we don't like the project, supposed to let them know, well, that was for this year, and then next year they're doing something on Lakeshore Drive. in
Central Color,
2015.
we introduced.
We introduced it.
Are they?
They do it already. Had a notifying letter. I don't know, they did something over on Holiday Road, they put in 3 new poles, and looks like they put transformers on every pole.
Oh, on holiday?
Well,
Yeah, it's right out in the open, I mean, it isn't even next to anybody.
Yeah.
they're expecting a boom.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of deal that is, so it'll be interesting to see if they do
I
something.
saw they were going on 49 too, that they were putting those,
Really?
you do that this time of year.
I know they like to replace.
Yeah, after a while.
I know they were revamping, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, with the speed of their internet, CenturyLink?
Oh, this is,
This is Wisconsin
we had
Electric.
just talked about.
Because I know, because that's what blew out Clinton one time.
Well, the ones on Holiday Road, they're between Galilee and 10. They got transformers in every one, and it looks like they got a wire down in the meter. I don't understand what,
Really? Wow.
I'd like to run into somebody from them and ask them
That's what they do, yeah.
what it is. They must know. Kind of where's my agenda book? All I know is, that's all I have, and,
It's still spitting them out every so often. I got about 8 of them.
all we're gonna do is approve the bills and approve that payment transfer for the TID district. That's in March, isn't it?
Let's do March 1st. So
March first.
according to my calendar, we'll be doing it February 20th. I'll be making wire transferring. We'll be a little bit early, but I guess I learned my lesson. Let's have everything done before you get a phone call and you gotta leave town. So,
You got a And I'll move the checks for
Me too.
Yeah, all three of them.
One is nice. Well, maybe I got 5 here.
Well, I know, for the election.
Yeah, there should be 3 more, because I signed more than this.
Well, you signed 6 for the election.
I was gonna say
girl.
6,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, that,
And 3, and
And
3
three.
more, and then,
Yeah.
cause we is just the,
yeah.
even though it says debit for the election.
License permits, rafts. At that time of year already?
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey Shikowski the day at the clinic. I got 2 rafts you. Where are you gonna put them? I said, I don't have the paperwork here today.
You're gonna slide them on the ice when it melts, it's gonna be right in place.
Well, he said, I got them permitted last year in Muckwa. I said, you call Muckwa, because they run them for 3 years. And then he said, you realize yours are 27 and theirs are only 10? I said, boy, it pays to drive to Muckwa. So, I don't,
Well, he called one and sent out, so ordered them, and then they come really quick.
Yeah, yeah.
the amount that we'll be transferring for the TID district, what we collected so far out of the 79,000 is 21,803.76.
So how much are we transferring?
Well, we'll be transferring the 21,803.7 from our money market account to the TID district. And we just have to pay the interest this time. The big payment is in September, so that's like $9,000.
Okay.
So you can do that on the computer.
So
You have one of these?
No,
Okay.
Do you need a motion for that?
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the bills as presented and pay the TID interest prior to the due date.
I'll second.
You'll honor the motion in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Anybody got anything else? Meeting date?
Election, February 18th, don't forget.
So what all we got? We got the judge
Judge,
That's
school board,
and,
probably one.
oh, okay.
All primary stuff, right?
yeah,
Is it primary?
for the school board.
The school?
Yeah,
That's on the 18th, right?
right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Oh, next meeting is
Oh.
March 3rd, right?
Is that all right with everybody?
March Thursday,
Fine with me.
6 o'clock.
Yeah,
6 o'clock.
I'll
Works
call
good-
the,
works
I'll
for me.
call the county post.
Okay.
This was sitting here. Jody's the.
okay,
So that's the dollar amount.
okay,
It's on our money market account for the
TID,
TID.
okay. Can I do that now?
You know,
Do
the
we
motion
decide
to
on
adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Or want to do them two
Opposed,
separate?
carried.
Two separate, but I can do them both at the same time. Yeah, put them on the one, that's two.
Called what?